What's up everybody, it's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and today I'm going to walk you through the 3 milestones you gotta hit in order to be considered advanced. Now before we get into this video, I just have to add this little disclaimer in that when I say advanced, this applies mostly to rudimental percussionists. So, you know, marching drummers or rudimental percussionists. It wouldn't really apply for drum set drummers per se, just because I think that, for example, if you are going to be a good drum set player, I don't think you necessarily need to do or be able to play a lot of hybrid rudiments with flamps. Does that make sense, right? Because, you know, I know drum set players who are really, really good and they don't know how to play like flam fives and things like that, and they don't need to, right? So when I say advanced, I'm gonna, you know, you're gonna have to take it with a grain of salt, and in the fact that this is mostly for marching percussionists, rudimental drummers, things like that. And there's still so many other things that are involved with being advanced, but I think these are the 3 main milestones you have to hit from a rudimental standpoint, from, you know, being able to play with your hands to be considered advanced, in my opinion. And this is the kind of, you know, milestones I try to get my students, my private students, to hit every single time, and just to try to get them on that path to being an advanced level player. All right, so let's begin. The first milestone you guys have to hit, right, is like, you know, it's like, let's just say you're a brand new beginner, never played drums before, never held sticks or anything like that. The first thing I would teach you is one-handed exercises, right? So I would teach you eights. Okay, I would teach you like accents and taps. Okay, then I would also eventually start teaching you like double beat, shups, and you know, diddle exercises. And even then, that could be a pretty difficult task, so that would probably be the last thing I would teach you right before you master that first milestone. Does that make sense, right? So, I mean, this is where I start teaching you things like, you know, legato and staccato, or upstroke, downstroke, really understanding the bounce, right? The rebound, okay, and versus not rebounding it, okay? So I would teach you those strokes, like, you know, how to rebound, how to not rebound, and then we start getting into double beat and things like that. Now, if you can do that, okay, obviously too, with good time, being able to play at a metronome, things like that, you would have passed the first milestone. Now, the second milestone, in my opinion, I think is the hardest milestone to achieve, okay? Because the second milestone is mastery of diddles and rolls, okay? That's why, you know, for the first milestone, I reserve double beat last, and then after that, we start getting into rolls and things like that. And that's the hardest milestone to hit, I think, you know, just based on my experience, just because that you need so much chops, right? So many muscles need to be developed within your hands just to be able to play a roll, okay? Like, I always use the example of you take some hobo off the street who's never played drums before, and I can be the greatest teacher in the world, and I can show him everything there is to know, right, about playing a roll, but after half an hour, after an hour, after a day, after a week, after a month, is that hobo going to be able to play a roll? Hell no. Why? Because, again, you need to develop the right amount of chops to be able to play, right? Even if that person has all the knowledge in the world, has all the information, he doesn't have the time spent, you know, making sure that he develops those muscles. I mean, it's like bodybuilding, right? Like, you can have all the knowledge in the world to be a super jacked, super ripped bodybuilder, but if you don't go to the gym and you put in the time and apply that knowledge, you are not going to get ripped. Sorry to break it to you, okay? So it just kind of works like that, right? So that is the second milestone you need to hit, is to be able to play rolls and put in the time to develop those muscles in your hands to be able to play. Okay, and I think it's always funny when like students ask me, you know, whether that's online or whatever, it's like, Carl, how do you play clean rolls? Well, I could give you all the knowledge, but you know, without, you know, it's not like I'm going to give you all this knowledge and then you're going to be better at, you're going to be really good with rolls or play clean rolls by tomorrow. that's not going to happen, right? So you need to apply the knowledge I give you and then practice it, and you know, have good guidance along the way to make sure you're not practicing bad habits and that you are developing your muscles correctly. Okay, so that's the second milestone you need to hit, is be able to play rolls like triple diddle, things like that. Okay, and again, like I said, I think it's the hardest milestone to hit, but once you pass that milestone, you are ready to pass the next milestone. And I think it's not as hard because the skills you learn playing doubles, rolls, are going to apply in order for you to hit the last milestone, which is to be able to play flam rudiments. Okay, so why do I say that? How does diddles apply in this situation? Well, as you can see, just with the shopping spree I just played, there's diddles in there, right? And the flam drags, cheese, 5. Okay, so the only difference is you are flamming like the first note of the diddle, for example, on cheese, and a flam 5. Okay, now here's some other diddles that maybe you didn't expect. So when you play a flam accent, there's diddles in there. What? Okay, so the beginning of the flam accent, like just check out the first 2 notes. Where's the diddle? Oh, it's right here in the left hand. Right? Now, what about transitioning into the next flam on the left hand? Oh, you see another diddle? It's right here on the right hand. Anyways, so there's a diddle right there. That's why if you have really good diddles and they're really strong, you can play good rolls, it can absolutely apply to you playing good flams. Does that make sense? Right? So it's really important that you pass those first 2 hurdles, okay? One-handed exercises, timing, understand stroke types, and then the second hurdle, which is rolls, right? Diddles, having good quality diddles, right? Making sure that both notes, right, are equal in value and volume. Because a lot of times, you know, when people start out, it's just like, right, it's either like, you know, it's too crushed, or the second note is not as loud as the first note, things like that, right? So those need to be developed before you can play good rolls, and then good rolls and diddles lead to good flams. Does that make sense, right? So once you pass that hurdle, sky's the limit. You can just kind of keep going from there, learn all kinds of new rudiments. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of training still involved to continue to develop those advanced skills, so you can get to those really high levels like march drum corps and things like that. But it all starts with the first 3 milestones, okay? One-handed exercises, stroke types, timing, things like that, and then rolls, diddles, building up the muscles and the chops to be able to do those, and then finally flams, which can lead to hybrid rudiments and all the other stuff that's out there, right, when you play licks and etudes and things like that, right? So that is my 3 milestones you need to hit in order to get to that advanced level. Now, I'm going to put this out there that you do need guidance in order for you to go through those milestones and hit those milestones, you know, in a good amount of time, and to do it right. Make sure you do the right things, okay? So if you have good instruction at your school, that's good. But also, what can really help is private instruction. If you guys are really interested in taking private lessons with me and having me on your team, right, to get good at drums and learn all this stuff, all you need to do to set this up is click the link below, and then we'll set it up from there, and let's make it happen. All right, so cool. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do me a huge favor and share this video with your friends. Please hit that like button as well if you really like this video. And if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you know when new videos come out and you are notified first. And other than that, if you have any questions or comments, of course, leave them in the comments below. All right, with that being said, go watch my other videos by clicking over here and subscribe over here. All right, cool. Peace out. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.